drop out to the right, trying to catch England out. Scotland immediately trying to surprise England by doing something different right from the beginning. Instead of dropping out to the forwards, taking a quick one to the right. Terry Fitzgerald demanding that they don't close it. Dooley has it. Probyn burrowing through to Andrew. Hoists the high one. Underwood from an onside position. That landing perfectly on the 22. Hastings took it brilliantly though. And England going forward. They've got the scrum.
A fabulous line-out ball there from the English boys. Dooley cleaned right off the top to set up this super position.
David Sole on the near side, the Scottish captain. But Richard Hill feeding for England on the far side. Penalty to England. The Scots penalised for going down. David Sole trying to talk to the referee, but he's adamant that he wants it held up, and he's blaming Scotland. Just over 3 minutes gone, and Webb with the kick. Misses it on the right post. Safely gathered in, and touchdown for a 22 dropout by Gavin Hastings. Back to test out, Halliday on the wing. And Halliday doing exactly what he was brought in for, collecting that in safely, but then not releasing it, off with the tackle. David Sole, quickly taken, Gavin Hastings, again being used to punch holes. No knock forward, says the referee. Back to Armstrong, Hastings again. Picked up by Armstrong. The pass went to floor, but the scrum half still got in there. Penalty for offside against Winterbottom, right in front of the posts. No more than 37, 38 metres out. Again, struck beautifully. It's over. Gavin Hastings kicking with enormous confidence. Coming up to 14 minutes gone, Scotland leading 3-0. The long throw again, Winterbottom chasing White. Carling picks it up. And that's a smashing kick from him. Not quite made touch, but a narrow angle for Hastings. And he has to put the ball into touch on the Scottish 22. The long throw from the line-out. Moore with the throw this time. Dooley with a clean two-hander. Working it back from a deeper position. There's room here now. John Webb. He's round one man. Moore can't hold the inside pass though. But England changing their tactics. Instead of giving it to Guscott coming through close on Carling on the crash, doing well to pull him on a deep position. There's Paul Ashford. At the moment, the England line out forwards dominating this phase. Well, that was a messy one, but they got it. Penalty. Offside against Finlay Calder.
Yes, and even though Scotland are playing the right tactics here, you can't help feeling that England's domination in the tight is still going to have an effect on this game.
He hasn't hit it very cleanly, pulls it across. Hastings taking no chances at all. Armstrong, Chalmers, that's a bit too long. And Webb has time to gather it on the bounce and clear his lines.
Dangerous times though, never let a rugby ball bounce. That was kind to him, but it could have gone the other way.
Tying it up, but a knock forward, and a little bit of a brawl has broken out on the far side. It's nothing much. Soul involved, and it looks as if it was a bit of a scuffle with Probyn. And Jeff Probyn penalised for tackling a man without the ball in the line-out.
Yes, you can see it quite clearly at the front of the line-out how Probyn took David Soul right out. The Scotland were actually throwing the ball in to David Soul.
And it's over. Hastings again striking the ball beautifully. 6-0 to Scotland. And England have got a good scrummage push on there. Derek White is off the Scots, collapsing it, yes. A penalty to England. They tried to slow it round to stop the drive and only succeeded in collapsing it.
I was absolutely amazed the Scottish back row jumped off that scrum. I know they're going to be careful about the defence, but the first responsibility must be to hold the scrum. And this should be the 3 points that the England forwards have deserved.
.32 minutes gone in this first half. And Webb on target this time. His first success in 3 kicks. What a vital one. And Roger Utley, I think, probably saying the same sort of thing as Steve Smith was. Thank goodness we've got that reward for the work put in by our forwards. Well, absolutely 50-50. Scotland and England absolutely level. Early on it was England who took the advantage, but Scotland have got themselves right back into this game and they're leading 6 points to 3. Offside. Scottish forwards in front of the kicker. And Carling, Will Carling, the England captain, signalling that he will take the scrum back. England much more possession, and that's half-time. England 57% of the possession against Scotland's 43%. Their problem now is to turn that possession into points. Scotland leading 6 points to 3. Urge of this second half. Out it comes again. Rob Andrew going back the short side. Rory Underwood. Brian Moore gathers it in, tries to set up the ruck. They've got it again. Skinner, but he can't hold it. And it's offside though against the Scots. The pressure telling, dragging them offside, but I'm sure England would have much preferred a touchdown. Skinner there coming in and taking that ball at full tilt. I just wonder whether the pass was meant for him. It was thrown very hard. Perhaps he'd have been better to leave it to the backs. Right, John Webb, he's only been successful with 1 kick out of 3. He's missed that one wide on the left, well off target. The Scottish fans cheer. Gavin Hastings runs the ball dead.
Well, that's a big miss for England. I mean, this game's going to be closer to the death, and he's missed 3 kicks now.
Taken by Winterbottom. Going to midfield, now trying to charge forward, but well tackled. All the Scots going past it. Penalty. Calder just running straight past the ball. And also, Scott Hastings penalised for going down, and Will Carling has no hesitation, calls up Webb again. Right, a very big moment now for John Webb. He's missed 3 out of 4. This one difficult from 40 metres. He struck it well, but he's wide on the left again. Pulled it past the near post. And again, the cheers go up from the Scottish crowd behind the posts. And John Webb, who had had a success rate of over 70% until this match, has suddenly lost his touch. And Teague holding on to it there. Skinner's gone off on the blind side, but they're moving it. It's a poor pass from the captain. Webb, but Rob Andrew now with a bit of room. Now he's got to chip it. Make the most of it, and he's got a good touch into the corner. They rather messed up the first chance.
Great kick though by Rob Andrew. That will remind the Scottish guys of what he did to Twickenham last year, kicking for the corners.
And the Scots immediately shorten the line out. The number 8 Derek White in there with Doddy Weir against Ackford and Dooley. But watch this throw. I think it'll go long. It has done. Trying to drag it in and control it. Carling trying to go in over the top and wrestle it free. And England now getting the drive. Yes, they have the scrum. That's what Scotland didn't want.
Yes, the Scottish forwards were really sleeping there. As soon as John Jeffrey got near the ball, there should have been 3 blue jerseys hammering into him to get the drive forward.
Yes, it was a sensible tactic because the Scottish forwards only had to go back over their own line, which was just 2 metres distant. So a fast throw over the line was almost certain to give Scotland possession. But then they had to drive him away. Again, Teague, he's got it where he wants it to now, over on the open side. They're going for that second drive. And they've got the push going, that's for sure. And a penalty given. He's not given the penalty try, but he has given a penalty for Scotland, collapsing as they go backwards. England now in a great position to level the scores. And Paul Burnell, I think there's a lot more blood there than the cut. They decided he has to go off to get the treatment. They're probably going to put some butterfly stitches or maybe even proper stitches into it, but he's off the field for the moment. Webb with the kick. Test of nerve for him, and he's got it over. And at last, 17 minutes into the second half, England have levelled the scores at 6-6.
Sooner or later, Brownie, it's your area, you know more about it than I do. You just had to know that scrummage should tell, and it did tell.
Yes, I've really got to say that the English scrummaging certainly has come back again in the second half. There is a power there, there's a togetherness in the front 5 that is quite awesome.
Winterbottom coming through, nailing his man. Scotland still have it. And they've got men to spare. Derek White. Hastings and his danger. Well tackled by John Webb, the fullback. Rory Underwood just getting a hand to that ball before it went into touch, giving away the scrum for the knock-on. Armstrong. And again, Chalmers moves it. Uh-oh. A dummy run in front of the ball by Scott Hastings, but he got away with it. Penalty to Scotland for killing the ball. And that's the sort of pressure that the Scots were looking to create. But they're upping the pace very effectively, and Gavin Hastings, well, there's nobody on the England side, I'm sure, believes that he'll miss this one.
He's too good and he's playing too well.
22 minutes gone, and England having just got level, look as if they're going to go behind again. Hastings from under 20 metres. And he's missed it, would you believe it? He sliced the kick. And my dear, oh dear, that must be a dreadful moment for him. England with John Jeffrey as acting scrum half and Gary Armstrong in the hooker's position. Dooley gets it to Richard Hill. Rob Andrew trying to find some space. He finds a bit more. Rory Underwood, can he get past his man? Yes, he can. Underwood, can he get in? Oh, so close. It was Finlay Calder who got a cross into the corner just to knock away that inside pass. And Rory Underwood yet again showing what a devastating finisher he was. He only had half a yard of space there. And my goodness, he almost got through and into the corner. Right, England have it again. What are they going to do this time? They buried it, they put it out. Andrew with the drop goal, it's there! And England go into the lead, having pinned Scotland back, having pinned them back 3, 4, 5 times. They then released it, And Rob Andrew equals the world record for the number of drop goals. That record held by him now with Leska Bura and Naspoter of South Africa.
And you know, the irony was that that's possibly the best scrum that the Scottish pack had against the English pack, but a fabulous drop goal by Rob Andrew.
And the Scots now, if they touch this down, it might well be the end. So they're not doing it. Everybody tired. Stanger coming out. Cuts inside. And still they've got it going. Weir. Tukalo. And at last they get a tackle. But the Scots still have it. One last chance for them. And the missed ball. Winterbottom gets across to clean it up. And that's it. England are in the World Cup final. They go back to Twickenham next Saturday, but spare a thought for the Scots. David Sow, the captain, leading them in their applause for the crowd. He knows that they really couldn't have done any more to help Scotland into the World Cup final. Big Chris Gray there, an unhappy fellow, but he's given everything. There's nothing to be ashamed of.